Hey everyone, welcome back to our scenes. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the next chapter, magnetic effects of electric current. More or less, this particular chapter is a continuation of your electricity. Okay, the chapter which we have been doing before this. So this is just a continuation of it. As if you remember well, in the previous one, we have already studied about heating effects of electric current. In this chapter, we are going to deal with the magnetic effects of electric current. So we are just going to see from where does this, what magnetic effect we are talking about of electric current, or how does an electric current show some magnetic properties. So to see that, we are going to see this particular circuit diagram, okay, which is already provided to you in your textbook on page number 117. As you can see here, the circuit consists of switch, resistor, then we have got ammeter and all, battery, everything is present. Then we have got this ABCD, right? This is nothing but a cardboard platform on which a compass rests. Okay, so what is the catch here? We are going to see that when you switch on the electricity, when you switch it on, what is going to happen is, as the electricity starts running through this, you are going to see that this needle starts to deflect. Deflect in a sense, this needle is going to change its direction, it's going to move. Okay, so what is the reason behind the movement of this particular needle? See here, whenever there is an electricity passing through a circuit, definitely a magnetic effect is produced around it. And because of that, this needle is going to, deflect. See here, the compass which we use to check with, the directions, north, south, east, west. So even that works on magnetic effect because our earth itself is a magnet. So hence this will prove that electricity is actually having some magnetic effect on magnetic property. So how it is and what it is, we're going to deal with that in detail after this. This was just the intro. To keep it simple in terms of words, let me tell you how electricity and magnetism is related. Whenever there is an electric field, what I can actually explain you as, the electric background, if it is changing, it's going to produce magnetism. Okay, magnetic effect will be released. Similarly, when a magnetic field, you're just having a magnet, with the help of a simple magnet, you can create electricity. So that means these two are linked to one another, they are interrelated. With the help of electricity, you can produce magneticity or magnet, okay, depending upon what you're trying to produce. Similarly, with the help of a magnet, you can create or you can produce electricity. So these two are linked to one another and they are sustaining one another. Even if you don't want to create, wherever electricity is present, magnetic effect will be seen. And similarly, with the help of magnet, even if you are not actually intending to produce electricity, with the help of magnet, you can easily produce electricity. So these two are linked to one another and they're interrelated. If we are going to go in detail year by year, this branch is very, very, very deep. Your entire electrical appliance, everything works on this principle. Now, as we all know what a magnet is, and how electricity and magnet is related to one another, or magnetism and electricity, how they are connected to one another. Let's talk about magnet first. What is a magnet, what are its properties, and how does it work, and then we are going to see the connection between the both. So we'll start with the properties of magnet. You know what a magnet is? Magnet is anything which attracts metallic substances. Okay, they are having those attracting properties. So every magnet has two poles. Whichever magnet we are using for scientific purposes, each and every magnet, whatever you're using for playing, everything will have two poles. One is supposed to be the north and the other one is south. Like poles repel each other. Okay, so if you're bringing north, if you're having two magnets and if you are trying to bring north and north pole together or south and south pole together, they are not going to attract. Okay, they are going to repel in a sense. If you're trying to bring it closer also, they're not going to attract, they're pushing them away. You're not able to bring them together. That is called as repel. Okay, so like poles, that is north and north or south and south, will repel each other, whereas unlike poles will attract one another. So if you are bringing north pole to the south pole of two different magnets, they are going to attract. Okay, they will show what magnetism we are talking about. So unlike poles will attract one another, a freely suspended bar magnet aligns itself in nearly north-south direction with its north pole towards the north direction. Okay, so this is something, principle which we use in case of compass, the mariner's compass, or it might be any compass what we are using for showing the direction. So what happens here, if you're having a magnet and if you have tied it and if you are suspending it freely in a sense, just tying the bar magnet and leaving it to do its own work however it wants, it will arrange itself. So it will move and it will align itself. Align means it will arrange itself in such a way that it's going to show you the north and south direction. Okay, so wherever the north pole shows you, that is supposed to be the north direction, and whichever side the south pole shows you will be the southern direction. Next, let's talk about the magnetic field. What is a magnetic field and how do you define it? Area around a magnet in which a magnetic force can be experienced. Suppose this is a magnet, the area around it, wherever, suppose you are taking a metallic piece and trying to place it in different places, see till where your magnet is showing the attractive property. Okay, so that much area is the magnetic field. The area in which you can experience the magnetic force of the magnet, the entire area comes under the magnetic field. So SI unit of magnetic field is Tesla, capital T. Okay, so magnetic field has both magnitude and direction. Magnitude, okay, it's having value near, that means if it varies in number. If you're near the magnet, the force of attraction will be higher, and if you're away from the magnet, it's going to be lower. So that means there is a value for it. Numeric value is present. Other than that, there is a direction for it. So magnetic field is also having its own direction. We can see that in the magnetic lines. Okay, what we are going to see next. Magnetic field can be described with the help of a magnetic compass. You can explain magnetic field with a simple compass itself. As said before, your bar magnet also acts as a compass if you are allowing it to suspend freely. The needle of a magnetic compass is freely suspended bar magnet. Okay, so whatever compass you're using for showing the geographical positions of north south, that is of your earth, the needle is nothing but a bar magnet. Just observe it, it's freely moving inside. It can move wherever it wants very freely. So it's nothing but a simple bar magnet suspended freely. So there is no much difference between a compass and a bar magnet. Okay, next we're going to see the characteristics of field lines. So what are these field lines? Okay, so I guess you have been drawing this in your previous year also. Okay, this is field line, what you have in your textbook, and if you're using iron fillings as required for the experiment, it will look something like this. Okay, this is what it is. So we're going to see what are the characteristics of it. Field lines arise from north pole and end in the south pole of the magnet. Okay, you can see here it's starting from the north pole and it's ending in the south pole. This is the direction. You can see the arrow marks shown here. Okay. Next, field lines are closed curves. As you can see here, they are completely closing. Even this ones, since we are having a shorter interference over here, the lines are cut. Otherwise, these are going to go in a rounding way, and it's going to connect over here. Okay, that's what is happening to the entire all the lines. Field lines are closer in stronger magnetic field. As you can observe here, near the magnetic field is strong, and hence you can see these lines are closer. But as you are moving far away from the magnet, you can see that the lines are getting far away. Okay, the distance is increasing because your magnetic field is decreasing, or your magnetic effect is decreasing as you move away from your magnet. That is what I have told you in case of magnitude of a magnetic field. Near the magnet, you will have strong magnetic field, and as you move away from the magnet, the force of the magnet will be, it will start to diminish. Next, field lines never intersect each other, as for two lines to intersect, there must be two north directions at a point, which is not possible. Okay, we won't take this point and we won't make it confusing. Just see here that none of these lines will intersect one another because they are rising from one north pole to one south pole. There is no another magnet to disturb these lines. If there is another magnet, if you keep two magnets together, then obviously the lines, the magnetic area or magnetic field will be disturbed and you will see intersection. But if you're using only one magnet, then you won't see any intersection of the magnetic lines. Next, direction of field lines inside a magnet is from south to north. Yeah, this is what is important. Now, see here, what we have been seeing in the first, property, that magnetic lines start from north pole to south pole. But inside the magnet, it has to move like this, right? From south to north. See the arrow mark over here. South to north. Say inside is going from south to north, then north to south. South to north, north to south. Okay, so inside it's going to be south to north. The relative strength of magnetic field is shown by the degree of closeness of field lines. So how do you decide? Okay, by just seeing, how do you decide the strength of the magnetic field? It's by the closeness of these lines. The more closer the lines, the more stronger the magnetic field. The distance, as the distance between the lines keeps on increasing, this shows that your magnet is not so strong, or the magnetic field is not having the required strength. Okay, the more closer, the more better. Okay, so this is what we have been seeing in the diagram. So here, H.C. Oersted was the first person to state that electric current has magnetic field. Okay, so he was the first person to decide, or to actually come to a conclusion, that electric current will have a magnetic field even though a magnet is not present. Now, let's talk about the magnetic field due to current through a straight conductor. If you have got straight conductor, then how does it affect the magnetic field? We're going to see that. So you have got a tiny little experiment over here, or a tiny little diagram, circuit diagram. We're going to see that to understand the process. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, we are going to take a circuit. Okay, this particular wire is a copper wire from X to Y. Then we have got a rheostat over here, variable resistance. Okay, then ammeter, battery, switch, everything is done. But see here, under this copper wire, or passing through this copper wire, is a cardboard sheet. Okay, on that they have actually sprinkled some iron fillings. Okay, and so what is actually happening here? Now, if we switch this on, okay, if we just remove the plug key and switch this on, current is going to run through this circuit. Obviously, it's going to run through this copper wire as well. As the current is running through this copper wire, whatever iron filling you have sprinkled over here, they are going to arrange themselves in the form of ring. Okay, so near the wire, the rings are going to be closer, and as the distance between the wire and the cardboard increases, iron filling increases, they are going to arrange in a far away or a distant cyclic pattern, that is concentrated pattern. They are going to arrange themselves. Okay, so what is actually happening here? Okay, this can be explained with the help of right hand thumb rule. So what does a right hand thumb rule state? Okay, you are supposed to use your right hand for this. Imagine you are holding a current carrying straight conductor. Suppose this is a conductor and I am holding this. Okay, in your right hand, such that the thumb, my thumb is pointing towards the direction of current. Suppose this is my wire and the current is running in this direction, and this direction is in, what should I say? It's how my thumb is showing, okay, where my thumb is running or my thumb is pointing in the same direction my current is running. Then the fingers wrapped around the conductor gives the direction of magnetic field. That means, see here, this is pointing the direction for the current. My fingers are wrapping around this, right? So these fingers they're moving in this direction, right? So this is the direction of the magnetic field. So magnetic fields is going to cause the iron fillings or whatever you have been seeing, the concentric rings over here. This is caused by this magnetic field. You are going to get concentric patterns of magnetic field. So that is what is explained over here, what happens in straight current carrying conductor. So how can you represent it? We are going to see all those details here. It can be represented by the concentric circles at every point on conductor. Simple as that. You can just take a conductor and just draw circlic patterns. That is just going to be your magnetic field around. Simple conclusion. Direction can be given by right hand thumb rule, what I have explained you just now. Circles are closer near the conductor. As said before, near the conductor where the electricity is high, you're going to get closer, concentric circles. Whereas as you move away from the conductor, the distance between the concentric circles are going to increase. Next, magnetic field is directly proportional to the strength of the current. So if your current is high, your magnetic field will be stronger. If your current is not so strong or your voltage is slower than, lesser, then your current magnetic field also will be weaker. So it's directly proportional to your strength of the current. Magnetic field is inversely proportional to the distance from the conductor. Less distance, more magnetic field. More distance, less magnetic field. So that is what is explained over here in this particular case. Next, we are going to talk about magnetic field in a due to current through a circular loop. Okay, this is what we are talking about. Okay, suppose your conductor is a circular, it's having a circular pattern, a circular loop. How does magnetic field vary over here? We are going to see that. You can see the diagram also on the screen as well as what I can show you over here. Okay, in the screen you can see it clearly. Okay, whatever picture I'm showing you. So what is actually happening here? As you can see in the diagram, okay, so you have got again an electric circuit over here, and you have got this circular conductor of copper, insulated copper, and this is connected to this particular positions A and B. You have got a circuit connected, battery, switch, everything. So when you start conductor, okay, before that, see here, passing through this particular ring or this circular loop, we have got a cardboard attached, and we are going to sprinkle some of your iron fillings on this. And then we are going to start the electricity. What we are going to observe is the current will start, or the iron fillings will start to arrange themselves around these rings, okay, nearby the rings or nearby the wire. Okay, you'll get concentric rings over here because we have got two rings, so two ring patterns we are going to see. Other than that, the remaining ones, or as the distance between this and this, okay, between this and this ring start to increase and they come to a point where they both are having similar distance, you're going to get straighter lines. Okay, so you can see this clearly in the diagram what I'm showing you right now. Okay, there you can see clearly how the rings, how the lines are arranging themselves. So near the wire you can see correct concentric rings, but as the distance between the rings starts to increase, you can see that they are starting to get straighter and curvier. Okay, so what is actually happening here? So this is what I have already explained to you. Okay, so the magnetic field looks something like this under this. So as near the wires you will get, this itself is the one which is acting the force for the magnetic field, but as you're moving away from it, both the magnetic fields will start to show their effect, and there will be a point at the center where your magnetic field will be making the line a straight line. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. So what are the factors here? So magnetic field is directly proportional to the current passing through the conductor. Again the same thing. The more stronger the current, the more stronger the magnetic field. Here again magnetic field is inversely proportional to the distance from the conductor. More distance, less magnetic field. Less distance, more magnetic field. Magnetic field is also directly proportional to the number of turns in the coil. So what is this turns in the coil? Okay. So if you are having this wire, okay, this whatever circular loop what we have created, if this is thicker if this is made up of so many wires in joined together to make a circle, then the more number of turns, the more stronger your magnetic field. The less number of turns, the less will be your magnetic field. So magnetic field is additive in nature. Magnetic field of one loop adds up to the magnetic field of another loop. This is because the current in each circle turn has some direction. Okay. So what basically this turn is, whatever the circular loop is, it's something like, you're having so many wires. Okay. You are taking a long wire and you are actually turning it to join it at some point. So the more the turns, the more strong your magnetic field. That is because each wire is, adding up or accounting for it. The lesser the wire or the less number of turns, you will have lesser magnetic field because the number of wires which are doing your work is less. Each one is important here. Each one is doing its job. Okay, so that is about it. Next, we are going to talk about solenoid. Solenoid is something new to us. Okay, what is a solenoid? You can see it on the screen right now. Okay, how a solenoid looks like. You might have seen such things before. Even here, okay, you have got a solenoid kind of thing here, even in your clutches and all. Okay, so something similar to that. Just that we are going to use insulated copper one and not this kind of metal. But this looks similar to that. Okay, as you can see here on the screen. So a coil made of many turns of insulated copper wire wrapped close in a cylindrical form is nothing but a solenoid. Okay, solenoid is actually very, very important in terms of electrical appliances and all. For creating electromagnets and all, we are using solenoids. Okay, so magnetic field of a solenoid is similar to that of a bar magnet. So no difference in that. It will act, one side will be acting as a north pole, other one will be acting as a southern pole, and how the magnetic field or how the ion fillings are arranging themselves all looks the same. See here in the diagram, simple diagram what is shown over here. Magnetic field is uniform inside the solenoid and is represented by parallel field lines. So even inside the solenoid, okay, your magnetic field will be parallel to magnetic lines which are being released caused because of that. It will be parallel to one another, and there is no point of higher magnetic field and lesser magnetic field. So you will see parallel field lines inside. Okay, so what is the direction of magnetic field? Again, outside the solenoid from north pole to south pole, inside south to north. Same thing what we have seen in case of your magnetic lines of 4. Okay, outside it was from north to south. See here, outside it was from north to south, and inside it's supposed to be south to north. South to north. Same thing what you have been seeing in your case of magnetic field. Okay, sorry, bar magnets. Okay, so what is the solenoid actually used for? What is the point of using this solenoid? See here, this solenoid is having very, very vast application in case of your electrical appliances and all, but this one is mainly used for creating electromagnet. If you're placing any soft iron or any other objects which can hold the magnetic property, if you keep it inside, like for example, if I'm taking a simple soft iron bar and placing it inside, and then I'm supplying electricity through this. So what will happen is, after some time, the soft iron which I have placed inside will turn into a magnet. Okay, so now if I remove that magnet, after some time, the magnet or the soft iron which have turned into magnet, it will lose its property. So it is an electromagnet. Okay, so what is an electromagnet? It is a temporary magnet, Okay, so whenever you are passing electricity through it, it will turn into magnet and then it will stop. Okay, solenoid is the best way to create electromagnets. Okay, then here in case of permanent magnet, it cannot be demagnetized. They are already a magnet. You cannot remove its magnetic property. You cannot convert it into any other ordinary metal. Here you can convert it into magnet, but after a certain time it will lose its magneticity. Here strength can be varied depending upon your need. You can convert the particular article into a strong magnet or a weak magnet. So it will vary. It's not fixed. Here your strength is fixed. If you're using a strong magnet, it's always going to be strong. If you're using a weak magnet, they are always weak. Polarity can be reversed. Okay, you can suppose if you're having an iron bar, and in the first case if you have made this north and this south, now if you want to change, if you want to make this south and this north, you can change that, you can convert it, okay, by using electromagnets. In this case, polarity cannot be reversed. What was north is north, what is south and will remain south. Generally strong magnets, okay, electromagnets are normally very strong magnet. When you magnetize them, they will show its full effect. Whereas permanent magnets, they are weak magnet compared to strong magnets. If you're comparing them, then obviously your permanent magnets are weaker magnets. So that's about it for your introduction part, and I'll get back to you with the next part very soon. Till then, thank you for watching.